Two teams have been the hot topic this summer break, McLaren and Alpine. It seems like we cannot get enough from both of them, and the news revolving around their driver lineup. After constant accusations and going back and forth with threats for court cases, there has been one candidate that has emerged as a potential suitor for Alonso's place in Alpine. But is it possible that the driver that obtained his first career points this season joined the French-based team, which is currently fourth in the constructors' standings ahead of McLaren? Stick around with us to find out more. First, let's explain why Mick Schumacher could very well be considered for that place. According to Alpine, the team believes that when they take Oscar Piastri to the court, they will obtain the right to keep him on the team. As Otmar Zafnauer said, Piastri has a contract with Alpine that obliges him to drive for either Alpine or Alpine-affiliated team for the 2023 season. This is why the team was pushing hard to put Piastri and Williams in a deal that would see Williams use Renault engines, therefore the deal would be complete. But Alpine wasn't hoping for a move like this from Alonso, which is why they didn't pay much attention to Piastri and just left him on the sidelines. When they announced him as the driver to pair alongside Ocon, the young Australian went on Twitter and publicly denied his spot in Alpine. This could be done for one logical reason, and that is that Piastri found a spot somewhere else, which is likely to be McLaren. After both of the contracts for Piastri, the ones from McLaren and Alpine went to the CRB, or the Contract Recognition Board. Alpine were hoping very much that this body would rule out the contract that Piastri made with McLaren and would say that he's obliged to drive for Alpine next season. However, the CRB made both of the contracts illegible, which means that Alpine have likely lost the young driver and have to look somewhere else for another spot. It's true that they could bring Ricciardo or Gasly, which are much more proven drivers than Schumacher. But to be fair, Schumacher has scored his first points in a much underperforming car compared to Gasly and Ricciardo. What Gasly has done with AlphaTauri in the previous 2 seasons was phenomenal, and he even scored his first career win in 2020, when AlphaTauri finished P6 in the Constructors' Championship. But in 2022, Gasly has decreased a lot in his form, and that has been noted by Helmut Marko too. Although the problem could be in the car, as Gasly even said so, the fact that his teammate Tsunoda was able to outperform Gasly on multiple occasions says a lot about the Frenchman's form. If Alpine wants to move in another direction and pick a young and prospective driver that would be molded to be the next great driver for them, they do have an option in Schumacher. At least he would be the next closest thing to Piastri, with the difference that the French-based team hasn't invested a single bit of intel or driving hours in Schumacher, which is more painful for them. According to Mick's uncle, Ralf Schumacher, chances of Schumacher leaving Haas next season are very possible. Mick has not yet signed a contract, therefore he would be a candidate with speed, as we have seen. Nico Hülkenberg is also still in the starting blocks. Then there's a question of Daniel Ricciardo. Personally, I can't imagine that he would get another chance in Formula 1. But I don't know what Alpine should take at the moment, said Ralph. Let's go a bit through Mick Schumacher's history with Haas and explain why his departure from the team wouldn't be as surprising as everybody would think so. Schumacher is still a part of Ferrari's driver academy, which is why he is driving for the Ferrari-affiliated team in Haas. Apart from that, he is Ferrari's reserve driver, but his performance in Haas hasn't been well in the last 2 seasons. In his first 2 seasons with Haas, he was partnered with Nikita Mazepin and was able to constantly outperform the Russian by a large margin. This is why we believe that Schumacher is the real deal and he's able to outperform the car to a large extent. But when Haas brought back Magnussen, a proven driver, we've seen Schumacher struggling and folding under pressure. He made 2 huge crashes in the season, one in Jeddah and one in Monaco, each potentially costing the team around $1 million. This is why Günther Steiner has gone out publicly and said that he would have to rethink when it comes to continuing the deal with Schumacher. After this, Mick scored his first career points in Silverstone, finishing P8 and having a short but exciting battle with Verstappen for P7, who drove with a damaged car. He then continued with his brilliant performance and finished P6 in Austria after defending Hamilton successfully in the sprint race on Saturday. Schumacher has also shown character in Austrian's weekend, saying that he isn't satisfied that the slower driver in Haas was behind and wasn't able to overtake. Another story that adds to the narrative of Schumacher leaving Haas in 2023 is the fact that Günther Steiner said he does not have to wait for Ferrari in order to finalize the lineup for the next season. No, we don't have to wait to see what Ferrari says. We never decide on the driver before the summer break, and we will not do so this year. Obviously, I will start to speak with Gene over the summer break, and then you know how we do it. you will ask again at the next race in Europe, and then we will tell you in some time in the end of September or October what we're doing, and the same will be happening this year, hopefully, said Günther. The German also spoke about the decisions that are being made in the team, amplifying his and Jean's role in the process and saying that Ferrari doesn't have a say in this matter. I don't want to speak about our Ferrari deal because otherwise they get upset, said Günther as a joke. At the end of the day, I don't know the real deal between Ferrari and Mick, and I don't need to know. If he decides to go somewhere else, I cannot change it. Only Jean and me are involved in that process, said Steiner. Prior to Mick being linked to Alpine by his uncle, he was connected to the seat in Aston Martin. After all, he had a very close friend in Vettel who could lobby for him, and even the four-time world champion said that if it was up to him, it would be a no-brainer to put another driver there apart from Mick. However, the British-based team decided to bring experience, giving Alonso a 3-year deal of $20 million per year. This is why Schumacher's destiny is still in the air, and with these events unwinding as they did, Haas believes that they hold the cards in the negotiations process. According to reports, Haas have put a halt on the negotiating process with Schumacher because his options have narrowed down with the signing of Alonso and Aston Martin. The team believes that the Alpine deal is a far-fetched one, and this is why they think that they could push Mick into an inevitable situation due to the fact that his choices are slim to none other than Haas. Early in 2021, Mattia Binotto said that Schumacher should aim for a seat in Ferrari in 2023, with both of his drivers not having extended their deals at the time. However, now that door is very well closed for Mick, and the newest reports say that the Italian isn't satisfied with how Mick has been performing lately. RTL has reported that Mick Schumacher is in a fight to hold on to his seat in Haas and in the Ferrari Drivers' Academy, as Binotto hasn't been impressed by Schumacher at all. Now the other side has to be asked too. If Mick desires to drive for the Enstone-based team, the cards would be in their hands. They would have to choose between him, Gasly or Ricciardo, and all of these drivers are bringing different values to the table. Ricciardo will surely bring consistency, but according to reports, he is willing to sit out the 2023 deal in order to play the big picture and secure a spot in Mercedes in 2024 if Hamilton was to retire. Not just that, if Ricciardo signs a deal with Alpine, the team would be hesitant to pay him $21 million, which is the guaranteed sum that Ricciardo will receive if McLaren completes the buyout. Gasly is the other option, but he is still under contract with AlphaTauri until 2024. Reports have been made that he is to lose his place in Red Bull from 2024 and beyond, and some other reports said that he has a clause in his contract that will make him eligible to sign for another team in 2023 if that team is placed higher than AlphaTauri in 2022. That would be the case with Alpine, but since all of these are rumors, we don't know how much we can trust it. On top of that, Marco and Horner said that Gasly doesn't have a clause and is free to leave the Red Bull program from 2024 and beyond. This is why we're left with Schumacher as the only viable and risk-prone option. The team would likely spend a year or two helping Mick master the car, but he's a young gun and the performance is there, so he'll surely help the team in fighting for the P4 in the Constructors' Championship from next year. What do you think will happen next with Schumacher and his future? Let us know in the comments below.